Europe is collapsing. This is clearly evident. I'm going to show you the statistics today, why Europe seems like it will be the first domino to fall. Now, of course, the US will be the biggest domino to fall. However, it seems like the cracks are appearing within Europe, and it is happening right now. Let's go into some things today. Europe's economy still in the danger zone. They're talking about the new figures that have come out for 2014, showing you the first quarter, and the sights don't look pretty. And this is a result of the austerity that they have imposed upon these countries in the Eurozone. There is no way that they can ever climb out of it, but of course that's the point. Now take a look at what they wrote about in this article out of Fortune. It said if Greece defaults, it could set off a contagion that would raise rates for other nations, causing more defaults and a possible exit from the Eurozone. Now take a look at what I said back in my book not too long ago. European nations are falling victim to the virus of debt contagion, and later on in the book I refer to the European viral contagion. Why? Because it spreads. You have one currency, one interest rate being used for all these different countries. How do you expect this to ever work? And the fact remains is that it is not meant to work. This is essentially to put them under a tyranny, and this is working very well because you have the Troika, for example, in Greece, determining what exactly happens. You have the IMF actually suggesting and imposing laws and rules that are needed to be completed by these countries. It doesn't make a single ounce of sense. It cannot work. Let's go into some of the details here. Italy economy shrank 0.1% in the first quarter. And this is just one example. Italy was hit pretty hard during the recession and is simply just one of the other dominoes. They are not able to use the euro, yet they're forced onto it. This doesn't make a single ounce of sense. Look at this. IMF warns of negative spiral in France as recession looms again. And they're saying that's going into this economic malaise. It's going to take years to climb out of it. Well, that doesn't surprise me, and in fact it really won't ever climb out of it. But when you have the so-called elite level people being taxed at 100% in some cases, 75% in other cases, there are thousands upon thousands of people being taxed at such a high rate. Now they suggest that these people are rich, they can afford to pay those taxes, but that's not the way it works. The really rich people are basically able to afford to open up businesses which make money, which make profit, that generates the whole, stimulates the whole economy. That's what happens. When they have the elite, the real elite, like the Warren Buffetts, they are taking those profits. It's a very different story. Taxes do not increase the wealth of the nation as a whole. It has never worked before. Portugal's economy, 2 steps forward, 1 step back. They're another one to have negative GDP growth in 2014. Now, this was supposed to be a time when all of these countries had been forecasted to have positive growth. Yes, it was going to be weak. It's going to take some time, but it's going to be positive. Just look on the bright side, everyone. Don't be so negative. Everything's going to be okay. But that's the fact that remains, is that it's not okay. It is in a big danger. I see this as the first dominoes to fall, and that is Europe. They're too weak. You have Portugal that had to accept multiple bailouts, and speaking of bailouts, take a look at this. OECD, Greek's GDP at minus 0.3% in 2014, and additional debt relief is necessary. I brought that up in my book, that not only will Greece need a second round of bailouts, because the book came out before the second round, I said not only will they need a second round, but they're going to need more. And this is it. They need continuous bailouts, and I knew that. It's not that I'm a soothsayer. I didn't have a crystal ball. It's pretty simple, pretty easy to diagnose that when you have a country that's run off of exclusively debt and fraudulent paper and all sorts of games that they're playing, they're going to need the bailouts. That's just the way it works. It's been going on. It's going to happen in the US as well. However, we get to see this in slow motion occurring because this is what's happening happening in Europe. They are playing games. They are doing this. They are gambled away the wealth of the nations. They're selling off assets in Greece big time, and this is going to happen in so many different countries, and you're going to see this happen with your own very eyes. I'm warning you in advance. Take a look at the information I've provided, and the Insiders is a great place to get that. It's an extension of the work I've done in my book, and it's totally free. You can get there at themoneygps.com. At the bottom, you fill in your email address. You get short, concise emails from me. I hope to see you there.